Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hello Word, the podcast where we explore the fascinating world of English vocabulary. I'm your host, Alex, and I'm thrilled to have you join me today. Today's word is casualty. It's a C1 level noun, and it means person injured or killed. So, what exactly does casualty mean? In simple terms, a casualty is someone who has been hurt or killed in an accident or violent event. Think of it as a general term to describe someone who has suffered harm. It's important to remember that casualty doesn't just refer to deaths. It also includes injuries. We often hear this word in news reports about car accidents, natural disasters, or conflicts. For instance, the earthquake resulted in numerous casualties. Now, let's delve into some synonyms for casualty. A close synonym is victim. You might say, the victims of the fire were taken to the hospital, which is similar to saying the casualties of the fire were taken to the hospital. Another synonym is injured party. For example, instead of saying there was one casualty in the car accident, you could say there was one injured party in the car accident. Another synonym, which is a bit more formal, is fatality. For example, the number of fatalities in the war is staggering, which is like saying the number of casualties in the war is staggering, but fatality usually only refers to deaths. Yet another synonym is sufferer. For instance, the charity provides aid to the sufferers of the flood, which means it helps the casualties of the flood. Now, let's look at antonyms, words with the opposite meaning. An antonym of casualty could be survivor. While a casualty is someone who has been harmed, a survivor is someone who has lived through a dangerous event. For instance, the survivors of the plane crash were rescued, highlighting their escape from harm, in contrast to any potential casualties. Another antonym, though less direct, is rescuer. A rescuer is someone who saves others from becoming casualties. For example, the rescuers worked tirelessly to find anyone trapped in the building, preventing further casualties. Another possible antonym is unharmed person. For example, despite the chaos, there were many unharmed persons, indicating those who avoided being casualties. Another antonym is beneficiary, particularly in contexts where insurance or aid is provided. While a casualty receives aid due to suffering, a beneficiary receives benefits without necessarily experiencing harm. For example, the beneficiaries of the program received financial assistance in contrast to the casualties of the disaster receiving medical aid. Let's explore how we can use casualty in everyday life. In a news report, you might hear authorities are still assessing the number of casualties after the storm. In a medical context, a doctor might say, we need to prioritize treating the most severe casualties first. In everyday conversation, you might say, the accident on the highway caused several casualties, slowing down traffic. Or, imagine a sports game. There were no casualties during the match. Thankfully, everyone is safe. Here are some more example sentences and phrases using casualty. The hospital was overwhelmed with casualties after the explosion. The main concern was to minimize casualties during the evacuation. The soldiers were trained to avoid becoming casualties of war. The firemen worked to reduce the number of casualties during the fire. The car accident resulted in 1 death and 2 casualties. The new safety regulations aimed to prevent casualties in the workplace. He became a casualty of the economic downturn. She was a casualty of the political infighting. The company became a casualty of the changing market. So, to recap, casualty is a C1 level noun that means a person injured or killed in an accident or violent event. We discussed synonyms like victim, injured party, and fatality. We also explored antonyms like survivor, rescuer, and unharmed person. Remember, casualty is a versatile word used in various contexts, from news reports to everyday conversations. Thank you for tuning in to Hello Word today. I hope you found this episode helpful. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. Your support helps others discover the show. I encourage you to create your own sentence using the word casualty and share it in the comments below. Until next time, keep learning and exploring the wonderful world of words.